Say hi.
Hi, everybody.
So welcome to our garden. Say hi.
Hello.
What a beautiful day. Sunny sky, very hot. 85 degrees in the afternoon. What a change in weather compared to several weeks ago. It was raining, but now we have a very beautiful sunny sky. But of course, this is the daytime temperature. The nighttime, the temperature can still be very hot, very cold. It can also, it can dip down to about 40, 45 degrees, 50 degrees. All right, so today we're gonna try to show everybody how we build our trellis and how we erect, all this fence here, trellis for the plants to climb. As you know, I try and do things very easy and simple, practical, because after all, I'm not making a permanent trellis. I'm just making a temporary. And when I say temporary, it lasts years. All right. And this is very effective so far. Look at how much I built. Yeah, that's about 20, 30 feet down there. At the height of my trellis up to here, it's 6 feet. And then from this pole to this pole right here is exactly 5 feet. All right, so we're gonna go over the material and what we need in order for us to build this very simple, effective, and at the same time very economical. All right, so cost effective too. So here we go. So what we need, the three components that you need, main component that you need to build this trellis. The first, it's the pole. So this is the tree stick, a tree pole. It's 8 feet. It's 8 feet long. And the second thing you need is the clamps. This is the stainless steel clamps. And the third thing you need is wire mesh. So the clamp, I want to show you the clamp. This is the clamps, stainless steel clamps. This comes in 10 per package. Now at the end of the video, I'll go over the, at least I'll give you another summary, maybe in the cost, of how much it costs, right? So those are the components that you need. And then of course the wiring mesh. And this is 6 inches mesh, all right? The gauge, I can't really tell you how large gauge, but this is pretty sturdy and it's nice, enough room for you to move in and out and pick the fruit. Other thing you need beside that is the tool. So you need a decent hammer, not the one that, small hammer to nail, to hammer down the nail. This is a little bit almost kind of like a sledgehammer with a shorter handle. You also need a cordless drill. You don't have to have a cordless drill. You can actually use a flathead screwdriver, but it's going to take some time if you use a screwdriver. If you have a electric or cordless drill, make things go faster. You might want to have a little shovel, small trough here. Okay. Also, can you move out? Also, you might want to. If you don't have it, it's fine. This is a hole digger. This is really an optional. And definitely you need at least a 3 foot step ladder. So you can spread out. Can you spread out? Show everybody. Okay, so you can stand on top. So this is a 3 foot ladder. All right. It's fine. It's okay, son. You don't have to spread them out. It's fine. So once you have all that material, now depend how soft your soil is. My soil here is very soft. It's very sandy. So therefore, I don't need a hole digger to dig the hole to bury the stick down, right? But if you do need it, just grab that for me, son. Then you can use that to dig a simple hole. Go ahead. Can you show? Okay. Go ahead. Dig right there where I had it before. Yeah. So just go down and dig the hole like that. Okay. And you try and dig it. Okay, it's fine. So just give everybody an example. That's fine. Okay, move out. You try and dig a hole as small as possible. because you don't want to dig too big. And you're trying to dig it down at least 2 feet, all right? Now, like I say, if you don't have to dig the hole. If your soil is soft enough, you can drive the pole down to the ground at least 2 feet. So the pole, remember the pole is 8 feet in length. So when you drive down 24 inches, it'll be very sturdy. Look at it, very sturdy, because I drive down almost 2 feet down into the ground, right? And after I drove it to the ground, I will actually press all the surrounding soil around it to make it very solid, very tight, so the pole will remain in place. It won't lean forward, backward, and it just really sturdy, and it stays up really straight. You can see there, right? Okay. Now, here's the thing: when you're trying to pound down the stick to the ground, be very careful with the hammer. You might want to use a 2x4. Can you hold the camera real quick? Hold the camera, okay. So if you're gonna drive let's pretend this is the 8-foot pole, right? Let's pretend that. And as you drive the pole down to the ground like this, at first it's kind of easy because the topsoil is very soft. And once you continue doing it, after 12 inches, right, it's gonna get tougher. And by continuing to pounding the wood pole, you might damage the wood pole. So, in order to protect the wood pole, what I do is I use a 2x4 like this, and I use that as a protection, and I will just continue drill, like pound down to the ground like that. All right, like that. You see that? That's how I get the pole to the ground. And all you have to do is make sure that the pole is straight, doesn't lean to the left, to the right, okay, and you'll be fine. Okay, so once you have the pole on the ground, obviously you're going to measure the distance, because you need to know the distance from the left to the right of your mesh. So you need to know how far the distance, right? It's very simple, all right? So once you do that, all you do is grab one of the clamps. Now I only have 2 clamps, one on the bottom and then one on the top. That's all you need, is 2. If you want to put one more in the middle, that's fine too. That's really optional. But I think 2 is enough to hold this in place. All right, 3 would be good, but 2 is enough. So it's very simple. This is a very simple clamp. As you can see here, you already have all the ridges, all the teeth. All right, once you put it in, go around it like this and tighten them up. That's it, all right? And then it will stay in place, and this thing will stay in place. That's it. Now, how high you want to put it is up to you, but again, this pole is 8 feet. Once you drill it down to 2 feet, then the top would be 6 feet. So you want your trellis to be at least 6 feet tall. I mean, this is pretty much exactly 6 feet tall. All right, 6 feet tall. So this is the beginning. Let's assume this is the beginning of the section. Okay, as you move over here, this is the end of the section. And if you continue another section, then this middle pole, right, this middle pole here would share between the 2 sections. Hope that makes sense. All right. Okay, so let's go over the cost of each of these components. So let me go over real quick the cost. So like I said, there are 3 major components. The first component is the stick. The stick costs about $5 per pole. Make sure you choose the one that is very solid, very straight. So anything that very light feeling, you don't want that. You want something very solid, very heavy, and you want it to be very straight. Okay, and the clamps, again, I show you the clamps already. So you might want to buy the bag. Don't buy individual. You would want to buy in the bag. So a bag has 10 of them. This bag, 10 of them, will cost me a little bit over $9. So if you round it off, that's about $10. Okay, $10. So $10. So you need one, you need two of them. So you need 4 for one section. You need 4, and then the wire mesh about $8. So if you round it up, that's $9. So here we go. So that's 1 pole, 2 pole. That's $10. Plus the wire mesh is $8, $18, plus 4 of those clamps. So that's about $22 per section. It's $22 per section. Now, if you build the second section, then you don't need another poles because the middle pole is share. So every time you add another section, you reduce $5, and you reduce 2 more clamps. So you reduce $7 every time you build another section. Every time I add another section, it's not $22. It's only what, $15. Okay, hope that makes sense. Like I said, this is very simple, very effective trellis that I built, and it lasts a very long time. You don't have to paint them. If you want to paint them, you can, but I don't need a fancy green color trellis. This will weather very nicely. It will last you years. I've been here almost 3 years, and I only have 2 poles that broke on the bottom because maybe it's rotted out or whatever, and of course, you know, it broke. Now when it's broken, I just buy a new one, loosen them up again, and then put it back in and tighten them up, and that's it. Pretty simple. All right. What else do we need to, what else can we explain, son? Is that all?
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it. I know we couldn't do a real demonstration, but I think you get the idea behind the trellis. So hopefully you tried it out, and if you have any questions, please go ahead and you know, write it below and comment below, and I'll answer the questions. Okay, so that's all for today. We'll come back. Oh, by the way, we are starting some of the seeds for this season. Again, we also renew some of the soil. We add some compost, some manure to the soil, and we clean up a lot of weeds here, as you can see, and we start growing some mixed lettuce in this section here. So the weather is warming up now, so I think we can plant some of the stuff. But again, you never know. Sometimes in California, the weather can turn on you. If you plant anything that is very cold sensitive, overnight, if there's frost, it could wipe up your plants. So just to make sure, before you plant anything out, make sure the frost period is over before you plant anything. So long as there's no frost, I think your plant will survive the little bit of cold. Other than that, you shouldn't have a problem. Alrighty, well, thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel so we can continue to make more video for you guys. Hope you get something out of this one, and thank you for watching. Bye for now.
Bye.
Alright, thanks, son.